We're here with Scott Chastain, the owner of Appalachia Survey. And Mr. Chastain, if you'll start off, just tell us a little bit about your business and the day-to-day stuff that goes into it.
Okay. Appalachia Land Surveying was started in September of 2009. Currently, it's myself and Darryl Whitworth are the two that work here full-time. I do have some part-time help that helps me occasionally. Basically, we're a full-service land surveying business, surveying lot jobs, larger tracts, do site plans, subdivisions, construction, staking, flood or elevation certificates, anything that would help with flood insurance, we do that. Basically, day-to-day operations, we have a schedule that we try to set up, looking ahead, several days ahead, and then we when you first take a job in, we will do the necessary research that we need to do before we start the job, and that includes doing some online research. Then we may have to do some courthouse research. We put a package together before we ever leave the office. That way we know what we're getting into before we actually get to the field. Then we actually go do the surveying ourselves. When you get us to come out to do a survey, you've got 2 registered land surveyors that's on the crew at all times, making the decisions and fixing any boundary issues or trying to fix them, address them, identify them. We do all the field work ourselves. Then we come in the office, we do all the office work ourselves. So all during the time that your project's being handled by us, you're being handled by registered land surveyors. Both Darryl and I are both registered. Also, 2008, I was elected as the Gilmer County surveyor here in Gilmer County, and been the county surveyor since then. Just was re-elected last year to serve another 4 years. So that kind of gives you a snapshot real quick, like of what we do from day to day. Some days we're in the office, some days we're in the field. If it's raining, we're normally in the office. If the weather's good, we're normally outside. So that kind of gives you a rundown of what we do from day to day.
I know when people are looking to buy a house and they're looking to close, surveying, getting a surveyor out there is important. What advice would you give somebody when they're trying to close on a home to just, get a surveyor out there?
Well, in my experience, since I've been in the business, I've been surveying since 1994, I believe it was. It's when I first started. In my experience with surveying, I personally would never buy a house, buy a piece of property without a survey. And the reason I say that is, a lot of times, well, I've got a survey that was done 10, 15 years ago. That should be good enough. The bank's not requiring it, so why should I get a survey? For instance, today I was looking at one, a young couple just bought a lot in a subdivision here in the county, and the subdivision, the plat they bought by, shows the lot a certain way. But after the subdivision was done, the lot next door had been revised, which changed their property line, and they don't know it yet. They will when I get out there, but they don't know it yet because they didn't bother to get a new survey. A new survey a lot of times reveals things that are missed or have been created since your previous or the last survey you had done. Differences in acreages. If you're buying by the acre, I would always strongly recommend a survey, because if the seller is selling you 10 acres more or less, and you're buying it by the acre, you're buying 10 acres whether there's only 6 there or if there's 15. So, but 95% or greater of the time, it's always less than it is more. That's why I always caution folks to get a survey done prior to any purchase that they might be doing.
When somebody's looking for a survey from Appalachia Survey, what kind of timetable can they expect before getting the survey and all the work into it?
Each job is different. If you call and you need a small half-acre to an acre survey of a retracement of a subdivision lot, for instance, a Kusawati lot, those turn around, I would say, today, with today's schedule, I'm probably 2 to 3 weeks behind right now, if not more. Today's schedule, if you called and you give me the time, or you say, Scott, I'm no big hurry, just whenever you can get it, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks I could have you fixed up. If you call me today and say, hey, the bank just told me I've got to have a plat and I'm closing next Wednesday, I'll try my very best to rearrange my schedule to get that to you by your closing. I don't want anybody to be held up if possible. If you come to me with a 50-acre boundary and you're closing next Thursday, you'll probably have to get a different surveyor or ask for an extension to where you can give me time to get that done. So that the size of the lot matters. If it's a acre job that's never been surveyed, those take a little bit longer too. Normally deed jobs are very challenging to figure out and get those done correctly. So each job is a little bit different. My suggestion, if you go into to purchase property, before you really get started, and go ahead and contact the surveyor, say I'm thinking about buying this, I need this done before I close. Go ahead and get on their list, be working toward it, and if in the meantime something happens, you don't buy the lot, call them and cancel the survey before they get started. But my suggestion would be to give enough time. A lot of folks, I know, they don't have the time. They get to closing or they get to the bank and the bank says, oh, where's your survey? Well, I don't have one. Well, you need one by next Thursday, and you're kind of on the short end of the stick, and you need help in a hurry, and I try my best to help you if I can.